Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on a hot Monday in Chicago. Believe it or not, we've had 7 days of perfect 75, 74, 70s weather here in Chicago, and it's unheard of for this time of year. We've broken all kind of history records. A couple of days ago, I told you guys for 4 consecutive days in a row, that had not happened since 1956. Well, this has never happened in the history of them taking records in meteorology in over 156 years. So shout out to Chicago. Remember to stay safe, do the right things. Have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. November is the month of gratitude. Everything this month is all about gratitude. Our co-host is having a few technical difficulties. She's been here with us before many times. We love and adore her. She is the creator of Karen's Nuggets, and these nuggets are absolutely wonderful doses of vitamins you need every day to get your day going. Karen's a very knowledgeable businesswoman turning into quite the social media star now. Welcome back to the show, our good friend Kay Renee. What up, Kay Renee?
Hey, Chat Daddy, how are you, sweetie? You know, countdown for you, honey. I cannot wait.
Oh, I know. Yes, hiatus, new studio, and take a break and a rest. So yes, absolutely. Next Monday, this time, I will be a double nickel. Yes, I will.
That's right. And I cannot wait to serenade you personally. So just get ready.
Baby. Oh, my God. I cannot wait. Well, Kay Renee, we have so much to talk about and so much to celebrate tonight. Yes, look, you and I are it until our major celebrity comes by this evening, but you and I will have enough to cover about everything that happened. Coming up later on in the show, in honor of November being National Gratitude Month, we'll welcome to the show Emmy Award-winning actor. I don't care who you are, you know this man. We grew up watching him. This man has had a long-standing career in Hollywood. Legendary actor OBBA BABATUNDÉ will stop by tonight and talk to us about his upcoming season premiere in a role on SWAT, which I love, as well as a couple of other things that he has going on. He's the hardest working man in Hollywood right now. Did you see all of the stuff he got going on? Yeah,
I did. You know, Tom Joyner has retired, but he passed the baton to Mr. OBBA BABATUNDÉ.
Oh my God, he stays busy. He is in so many different things, but it's good to have such a legendary actor like that on tonight's show. So, how are you doing today, Kay Renee? What's going on?
You know, I'm better. Thank you so much, Art, for checking in on me yesterday. You know, we lost a giant in the game world with Alex Trebek, and unfortunately he made his transition on the same day 7 years ago that my beloved father, Mr. James Mason Jr., said, "I'm joining your mom." And so I was just really I get very ambivalent, but you know, when I get ambivalent, that's probably when my creative juices start flowing. And I wrote a love letter to my dad, and just kind of encapsulate his life and how I was just very, as you know, very close to my father. And it still is raw at times, but then I know when I just feel a little bit down, someone like yourself, and I've had a few other people just say, "You okay?" Just checking in on you, making sure that you're okay. We know what this day represents, but you know, your dad is just really proud of you wherever he is. Him and your mom are just smiling down. So, you know, I get there, because this type of year for me, between November and January, it gets kind of iffy, but God is good.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Well, you know, of course, we'll do a couple of shows on just not only trying to get through the holidays, but for people who have lost their loved ones during the holidays. Now we put a pandemic on top of it. Any relatives that you had planned on hanging out or visiting, you may have to limit that this year. So, you know, but yeah, my thoughts and prayers go out to you. And I just wanted to comfort you. That's why I checked on you this morning. Like, you sure you still want to co-host this evening?
You know me, Art. You know I'm always there for you, and I would know my father would say, "You better get your butt up and do what you do. Do your thing." So,
Do your
you know,
thing.
I like to honor my dad in ways of writing. And as I said, when I wanted to honor him, I said, "Let me just write a love letter to my daddy," and
Oh,
yeah. So if people get a chance, so you can go to my Facebook, go to Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge, as well as on my website. But you know, it's just I'm just really blessed that I had the opportunity to know my father, to love him, and he was fallible, just like any man. You know, he had his moments, but at the end of the day, my dad was very. He treated me like a person. He always said, you know, you can do whatever you want to do. And how proud he would be, very, very proud now. Now that the election is over, we have our first African American South Indian vice president. He would just be elated and over the
yes,
moon.
yes.
So
Well, we have
yeah.
much to talk about all of that has happened because the last time we were here,
Yeah.
it was Relationship Thursday. It was the All
Hmm.
Scorpio show. Thank you, everybody who
Oh God.
tuned in. Matter of fact, that show had over 800 views on
What?
various platforms. Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
checked
that's
in the
good.
last 2 days, but thank you guys so very much for all of the Scorpios that hung out with me on Thursday night. I really appreciate you guys. Dion Nicole Smith, the birthday goddess. She was
Yeah.
in the co-host chair, and we just had a really wonderful, diverse group of people just talking about being Scorpio. So that has now sparked me to create once a month a zodiac discussion. I've been in
Yeah.
astrology since I was the age of 15, and I
Me
believe a
too.
lot about astrology and all of that stuff. So we're going to do a once a month show with all the zodiac. So when I put that call out there, you guys, you need to step up and speak on behalf of your zodiac sign.
Well, you know, come September,
Yes, yes, yes,
you know I'm gonna be right there.
yes. I know, I know. Well, yes, absolutely. Well, that's wonderful. So let's continue on with tonight's show. As we said before, coming up later on in the show this evening, legendary actor Oba Babatunde will stop by and hang out with us tonight, and we are just so excited to welcome him in honor of November being National Gratitude Month, and we really do appreciate him coming and hanging out tonight. Kay Renee is in the co-host seat this evening, so there's so much that we need to talk about. Let's get into the hot topics of the evening. Kay
Right.
Renee, there are now over 10 million COVID cases in the United States. 10 million. The nation has passed the sobering number of 10 million infections as of today, Monday. There are more than 237,000 deaths from COVID 19. And
My God.
so today, our president elect, Joe Biden, said that a vaccine is not a quick fix for the COVID-19 crisis, because everybody is thinking this vaccine.
Right.
But keep in mind, we are now changing administration. New people have got to come in. We've got to compare data, and then who would be first in line to go get a vaccination?
Right. Right. And they have to make that decision. But I was so glad to see our new president elect, you know, taking charge, had that press conference and just really being fully transparent. This is what we've been waiting for since when? Since March.
Yes, we have. Yes, yes. So, with that being said, the state of Illinois has now reported over 10,000 new confirmed cases, and they're now saying confirmed and probable statewide
Wow.
cases. And so that is just uh, absolutely crazy. 10,573 new known cases in the last 24 hours. And keep in mind, over the weekend, it was a continuous rate of 10,000 new known cases. So, Kay
Right.
Renee, this now asks the question: do you think a little Rona is in all of us? You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's something in all of us that it's a little Rona in us?
It might be. It might be no matter how, you know, because unless you're in the house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's the only way that you will not be able to contract the virus. So you just, that's a strong possibility, Art. I really
Mhm.
don't know, but we're gonna find out because I know I have to get tested. I want to get tested before the end of the year. I've been grateful that, wearing your mask, practice social distancing, washing your hands, when you can't wash your hands with soap and water, put the sanitizer on, and I just don't know. And I'm prayerful that that I don't have it, but you know, you bring up a good point. I mean,
Mhm.
these uh these cases are continuously rising each and every day. And regardless of the fact that we're having a great weather spurt, but it's gonna get
Yes.
cold again, and folks gonna
Right.
be back in their house. So
Right. But then the
I don't
great
know.
weather spurt also promoted more people to come out. Keep in mind when we finally had the announcement to be made about who the new president would be, there was
Mhm.
dancing in the streets
Yeah,
in major metropolises, dancing in Chicago, New York, Philadelphia. Keep in mind,
Atlanta.
Philly
Yeah.
just had a riot recently and
Yeah.
looting, so I'm thinking that is where the increase in numbers are coming from. Don't you think so?
Yeah, and not only that, I mean the protests, not only just with the win, and everybody was just so elated that we have a new president elect and a vice president elect. Think about the other side. There was some serious protesting. They were like, this election has been rigged. That there's no. It's just really ridiculous. So it's on both sides. There were a lot of people out in the streets, especially. I don't know if you saw the news reports here in Chicago. Everybody was gearing towards Trump Tower
Right.
downtown, just
Yes.
looking at it. So I thought that was hilarious.
They had to shut it down and pull that
Um,
bridge up to keep people
I
from going over
know.
there. So yeah, absolutely. Well, unfortunately, in the last 24 hours, we've had 14 more deaths. This now brings the statewide death total to 10,210 people who have perished. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who's been affected by this. If you've lost any loved ones, I know two people right now who are fighting it. One young man said on social media this weekend that he was in day 11 of it and that he would not wish this on anyone in his family, that it has been the roughest, 11 days of his life. He is doing better, but it really was bad. And so, I don't know. It's hard to say, right?
I'm about to switch out, or I think I'm able to get in from my computer, just to let you
Okay.
know. So
Okay. All
hold
right. No
on.
problem. Go right ahead. Then I'll continue on with what I was going to say.
Okay.
This past weekend, we had the loss of a true icon and legend, Mr. Alex Trebek, 80 years old, passed away. As you guys all know, Alex Trebek was the host of Jeopardy for 37 years. And Jeopardy is a household staple. Everybody watches Jeopardy. I know everywhere. My parents, grandparents, family members. I grew up watching Jeopardy, so to lose somebody like Alex Trebek is really just heart wrenching. He was born in Sudsboro, Ontario. He studied philosophy before becoming a journalist. He worked as a reporter for the Canadian Broadcasting Company for many years. And in his mid-20s, are you there, Kay Renee? Uh-oh. There
I'm
you are.
here. Can you hear
Yay.
me?
Can you hear us?
Yay.
Hey, all
Can you hear
right.
me?
Very good. Are you back? Somebody said, I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I
Okay.
can hear you.
Your audio is not as okay, good. All right. So we were talking about the fact that Alex Trebek has passed away.
Yes.
A household staple for many years, for many of us. Anything you want to say about Trebek?
One, he was fine. Now, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I love me some Alex Trebek. I've watched his career. I saw the special last night with ABC. I said, "Oh, this." I mean, he just not only just was fine when he was young, he just grew to be fine as he got older. And I was just so devastated that he made his transition. But he fought so valiantly when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and that is one of the most dangerous cancers you can get. And for
Yes.
him to survive almost 2 years, that just says something about his will.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
my heart goes out to his wife, Jean. They were married 30 years. They just celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary, his children, and to the millions of fans who loved Alex. And so he's, he was very comfortable. He talked about, not being afraid of death. He wanted to make a difference, and he said, I just want to be a nice guy. Well, he was that, and then some.
You know what I love more than anything, and congratulations to ABC 2020 for the just
Yes,
wonderful tribute they did last night
they
on the
did.
life and times of Alex Trebek. It was just really moving in many different ways.
Mhm.
He was a handyman, like he built
Yes,
everything, like he
yes,
never,
he did.
like a repairman never ever had to come to his house for anything. He built things, he built his wife a new bathroom,
Yes,
office
he
space,
did.
just and he did all of this, even during his sickness. And I just
Yes.
found that to be so fascinating. And what I liked about, what I gathered from the interview on 2020 is that he's just like a regular person. Alex Trebek is who he is when they say, and now Alex Trebek. And when he comes from behind that, he's just an everyday regular person. And that's what I tell people. A
Right.
lot of people think the entertainment world is glitzy and glamorous all the time. When you can turn it on for the camera or the microphone and do
Exactly.
what you do and be done with it, then your job is well done. Right. No, you don't take this away
Exactly.
from what you do here. So, yes. Well, in 1966, when he was in his mid 20s, he switched from journalism to hosting game shows. The
Yes.
first show that he ever hosted, do you know what the first show ever was?
Oh, it wasn't classic concentration. I know he did that. He did tell the truth. To tell the truth, he did that.
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
His very first show was Reach for the Top. And then a few
Okay.
years later, the show became Jackpot. But that was way before your
Oh,
time. You were not even thought of during those, during that
okay.
time. And then in
Thank you.
1984, Merv Griffin uh, gave him the chance to audition for Jeopardy, and he never
Mhm.
left in. And that's when Merv Griffin was bringing game shows to the
Mhm.
daytime. Keep in mind,
Right.
game shows were only on in the evening. Like ABC
Right.
is doing game shows on Sunday night. That's how TV
Mhm.
was back in the day. It was not game
Right.
shows in the afternoon. And so Merv Griffin was the one who brought Jeopardy back to, or brought it to midday to afternoon. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Well, we are very sad. And here's the deal. He
Yeah.
did 8,200 episodes of Jeopardy, and that was over the 37-year career span. And
Yes.
he goes down in history as the single TV game show host with the longest span on television. So we really will miss him.
And you know what you may not know, he was in the studio 10 days before he transitioned. So there's going to
Right.
be Jeopardy shows all the way up to Christmas Day.
Yes, his last show will be Christmas Day. How special is
Yes.
that? But then it also yeah, I know. It's gonna be everybody watching because of course everybody's at home on Christmas Day, but it's gonna be the most
Mhm.
heart-wrenching thing to watch and know that that's that man's last show. So
Mhm.
yes, all right. So let's continue on. We want to send our thoughts and prayers out to ABC, not ABC, but NBC News very own Al Roker, the Today Show. Al
Yes.
revealed that he battling prostate cancer, and we want to keep his wife Deb Roberts, who works over at ABC,
ABC,
and the
yes.
family in our thoughts and prayers. And we are so sorry and hope
Absolutely.
you get better, Al. And Al is a great cook. He does this thing on Instagram. I've been following him this entire pandemic. He and his
Wow.
son Nicholas cooks dinner.
Okay.
And so they show you how they prepare it. And really, Al makes what I consider healthy, from the garden to the table, comfort
Mhm.
foods, potatoes,
Okay.
carrots, greens, things like that. But he always does great meats, always. So, yes.
Well, I'm just
So,
really proud of him. The fact that he took it upon himself to look healthier, because Al was a little bit robust, early in his career, and he took it upon himself to say, you know what, I want to be healthy. And hey, Miss Kim, And so, I think that's going to help him in his recovery with this challenge.
Yes, very
I
good. All
really
right.
do.
Well, we wish the best for Al Roker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've not heard yet, hello, hello, hello. The election results have finally come in, and we
Whew.
now have a new president elect. As of Saturday, an announcement
Yes.
was made that
Yes. Yes.
president elect will be Joe Biden and Vice
Yes.
President-elect will be Kamala Harris, who will
Yes.
now be the first African-American female and Southern Asian or South Asian female to hold this position, the second highest position in the country. And
Yes.
all I know is Saturday, people were singing Happy Days Are Here Again.
Oh,
People were
goodness.
singing Hallelujah. People were
Yes.
singing Hit the Road, Jack. So
Jack,
what
and the one song I really love, I saw it on my Facebook page saying, "Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day?" I was like, yes, bring that weird song back all the way up to 2020. It was just literally I had my television on CNN Friday night, and they weren't going to predict. They were going to be one thing. I really will give the news outlets credit. They wanted to be very careful before they made the announcement. They were like checking their people, the statisticians, making sure that the math was right. And so I know the time exactly when it was called, 10:26 a.m. Because when I saw the photo, I have the photo on my phone that Joe Biden is the winner. I was like, thank you, Jesus. God is good. And we talked about this because you had asked me, what were you gonna, did you get some sleep? And I went to sleep because I knew you and I said it's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen in divine order. And how cool that he captured winning the presidency in his home state of Pennsylvania. That was just so cool.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
cool.
Absolutely. All right. Well, to tell you a little bit about our new president-elect, he was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, a Newcastle County, and Newcastle County, Delaware. But he was born in Pennsylvania. He was raised in Newcastle County, Delaware. Boy, that's a tongue twister. Biden studied at the University of Delaware before entering for his law degree from Syracuse University in 1968. His political party affiliation, why can't I talk tonight, Lord, is Democratic. Girl, I can't talk tonight. He served as vice president under President number 45, President Barack Obama. And he's a fellow Scorpio. Yay. His birthday is coming up November 20th. He will be 78 years old. And in exactly 2 months after his birthday, all goes well, he'll be sworn in as the 46th president of the United States of America.
Here's something that's very interesting. I saw this on a Facebook feed. He will be the 46th president. His beloved son, Beau, died at 46. Don't tell me there's no such thing as angels watching over him.
Wow. Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Angels, namely Mr. Beau, and also Shamala Gopalan Harris, Miss Kamala Harris's mother. She raised a strong woman. And I was so glad that both, not only President-elect Biden and Kamala, said this, that it had been up to the Black woman. I was just like, yes, finally, recognition. I mean, I think about every Black woman who has done what they needed to do to get where they need to go. I mean, another kudos go out to Miss Stacey Abrams of Georgia. That woman did her thing.
Yes, she did.
Bringing 800,000 people to vote. As I said, once Kamala and Joe Biden get in office, they're gonna hopefully they have a conversation with Miss Stacey. Said, "What you want? You want something? We got you."
Yes,
So
yes. Well, you know,
I just
another sister,
say,
why you on the sister shout out page, another sister that I want to shout out is Simone Sanders.
yes,
That's another bad girl, senior
that's a
advisor for
bad one.
President-elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's
Yes.
political campaign. She's been a powerhouse. At the age of 25, she was the youngest presidential press secretary on record while working for U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders' then presidential campaign. So, I mean, she's a bad girl, too. I mean, we are seeing the best of the best come forward to help with all of this and have help with all of this, you know?
And let's not forget on the news side, Miss Abby Phillip, who is the CNN political commentator. She's only 31. I was just like, you go, girl. She, right. I mean, just broke everything down from the actual math to talking about, each candidate. And I was just like, there's a meme out called the Fab Five, meaning Kamala, Simone, Abby, Keisha, the mayor of Atlanta, and also Stacey Abrams. That's the new Fab Five. What a fabulous group of women they are.
Yes, they are. They are. Well, congratulations on that. Well, let me get back to telling you a little bit more about Mr. Biden. Believe it or not, did you know this? He became the 5th youngest U.S. senator in history, as well as Delaware's longest serving senator.
Wow. Did know that.
Did you know that? Yes.
I did not know that.
His 2008 presidential campaign never gained momentum, but the Democratic nominee, Barack Obama, I told you I can't talk, it's the tongue thing, selected him as his running mate. Biden went on to serve 2 terms as the 47th vice president of the United States. So imagine he was the 47th vice president, but now he will serve as the 46th president. So let's look at how that's even working in the 4 and the 6 and all of that. But he was the 47th vice president, but he will now be the 46th president of the United States.
Yes. Yes.
Now, let's talk a little bit about his background. His father was Joseph Biden Sr., and his dad was in the furnace cleaning business and a used car salesman. His mother, Catherine Eugenia Jean Finnegan, was, a homemaker, a loving, doting mother, took care of kids. Back then, that's what you had to do. But she was the one that taught him to be tough. If you guys do not know it or not, President Biden does have a disability. He was a stutterer as a child, and that is a disability. And he still stutters now slightly. I stutter as well from time to time. And it's a disability. And so President Biden's mother taught him at a young age to do not let people pick on him, bully him, and boss him around. And so he, would go out and get a couple of bloody nose, and people would try to mess with him and all that kind of stuff. And his mother would make him go back the next day and confront the people who bullied him.
Yep. I can definitely relate, because my late father, I did not know this until he made his transition. He stuttered. And so it's interesting, because when you hear a person stutter, you think that they're not worthy, and that's totally the opposite. And I think when that happens, you have to give people compassion. I think that's one of the reasons why he is our president, our new president is.
You breaking up. You there?
So beloved.
Hello. Hey. Okay, Renee, you're breaking up there. Okay, Renee.
Because he can relate to
You breaking up, darling. We can't hear
Oh,
you.
goodness. What is going on?
Yeah. Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? I can hear you.
Wait a minute.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, you were
Yes.
breaking up there for a minute. All right. How is that
Yes.
better now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. So I didn't hear a word you said about your response. So what you broke up the whole time?
I was saying about stuttering. My late father stuttered towards the end of his life. I never knew he stuttered. He shared that with me, as he was about to leave here. And a lot of people think when you stutter that you're not worthy. And that's totally the opposite. And that's one of the reasons why I believe a lot of people feel such compassion for our new president, because he has compassion for others. And it's going to be just a different welcome change back into the presidency. Because if you recall, Art, during his campaign, he had featured a young boy who really stuttered.
Yes,
and
he did.
He allowed him to speak, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Right.
I was just tearing up. The fact that he had the courage to say and just really appreciate and thank then Democratic nominee Joe Biden for allowing him to have a platform to speak. So,
okay. All right. Yeah. Very good. Well, with that being said, our new president-elect, Joe Biden, has also experienced tragedy in his life. Back in 1972, his first wife and 3 children were involved in a terrible car accident while out shopping for a Christmas tree. The accident killed his wife and daughter and severely injured both of his sons, Bo and Hunter. And this was a week before Christmas in 1972. And Biden was inconsolable and even considered committing suicide several times. He said, I began to understand how despair led people to just cash in, how suicide just wasn't an option, but it was the most rational option. He felt that God had played a horrible trick on him, and he was angry. And, we all know that he eventually met our now current first lady to be, Dr. Jill Biden, who is an educator who is still very much teaching to this day. And so, I just think that he's a man that understands everyday regular people's circumstances and situations. I think he'll do a great job at that. What do you think about that?
I think, the reason why he has been in office as long as he has, because he's been able to reach out to his own constituents and across the party lines. And so he uses that compassion to find, something that you have in common. And I love the story, of how he overcame his tragedy. But Jill, Dr. Biden, make no mistake, that's a strong sister. Because I don't know if you recall, once during the campaign trail, a protester had come up to get Joe, and Jill, she reached out like, we ain't having that. So she's tough in her own regard. And so,
absolutely,
the new hashtag is going to be for her, because she's Professor Flotus. I mean, I think that's apropos for Dr. Biden. So
yes,
it's going to be a welcome change in the presidency. I am looking forward.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, we have much more to talk about. Don't forget, coming up later on in the show, we're welcoming legendary actor OBBA BABATUNDÉ. This Emmy Award-winning actor will join us tonight to talk about his amazing career, the premiere of a wonderful show that's coming up this weekend. Oh, no, actually coming up on Wednesday night, this CBS SWAT. Do you know he plays Shamar Moore's daddy?
I have not seen the series. Honestly, but I like me some Shamar Moore now. I can see that.
He is Shamar Moore's daddy in that. Yes, absolutely. And on this coming Wednesday night, daddy gonna check his son about, being the popo and your responsibility to your peoples. I can't wait to see it. It should be really good.
I'm gonna be seeing that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. All right. Well, Kay Renee, you know what we do every night? We remind these people that
Yes.
we are in the midst of a pandemic, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
Our COVID numbers
yes.
are steadily rising. The death rate is still rising high. We've been in this pandemic now since March. I'm predicting that the state of Illinois will probably close back down within the next 3 weeks. I guarantee you, by the time we get to Thanksgiving, we're going to be closed back down. A lot of the grocery stores are now even putting limits on certain things like cleaning
Yeah.
products and paper towels and certain meats and things like that. So we want to
Mhm.
remind everyone, in order for you to stay safe, we ask that you please wear your mask. Wear your mask. Make sure it covers your nose and your mouth. Please make sure you put your mask on. Yep. All right. We also want to remind everyone the importance of washing your hands. Please make sure you wash your hands. If you do not have soap and water readily available, sanitizer will do. This is how we do it on this show. Put a little sanitizer in that hand. Oh, gone, okay, Renee. That was a good squirt. Yes. All right. Rub them hands together. See? Right. Uh-huh. Very good. Make sure you clean under those nails. Get those nice and
Yes.
clean. Yes, make sure you social distance, whatever it is, make sure you social distance, keep people off of you. And if you're not feeling well, stay your ass at
Stay
home.
your ass at home.
Best advice we could ever give you is stay your ass at home, correct?
That's right. That's right. Or mask it or casket. Which one?
That's
So
right.
you have a
That's
choice.
right. Tisket or
Mask it or casket.
tasket, mask it or
Mask it
casket.
or casket. I like
Mask it
that.
or casket. Okay, tisket or tasket, mask it or casket. Very good. All right,
Mhm.
before we continue on, I want to talk about our new vice president elect, Kamala
Yes.
Harris. Kay Renee, what
Yes.
can you tell us about the life and times of Miss Kamala?
Oh my goodness. Miss Kamala, she's a lady of first. She was the first attorney general in the state of California, the first senator, female, and second to Carol Mosley Braun in the Senate. And now, my goodness, she is now the first woman vice president, the first woman of color, the first uh, Indian American woman to serve the second highest office in the land. And for I know there's some AKAs out there. She's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. In addition to the product of the HBCUs, she went to Howard University in DC. And I was so glad when I saw one of the news reports in Good Morning America. One of her sorority sisters, I happen to know, went to Whitney. Ms. Lori Sadler was talking about how Kamala has always been very steady, but she's been very fierce. So this is something that, when people have seen Kamala in the debates, she's always been this way. Nothing has changed. So, with Kamala, she has her husband who will be the first second gentleman in the White House. Doug, I'm off. I'm off.
Okay, so now wait a minute, Kay Renee. What do we call him? What would he be called now? Would,
Well,
would he would he be first dude? Would he be first? I mean, how do you define that? We ain't never had a
second.
first. You know,
I know, but I think he likes second gentleman, perhaps But I'm sure they're going to be. He's playing with that. I'm sure by the time the inauguration hits, we'll know what he wants to be referred to as. But the thing
because the
about Miss,
choices would be second gentleman, second husband,
yes,
second dude. Well, his name is Douglas M. Emhoff. Is that correct? Emhoff.
Emhoff, Emhoff,
Yes,
yes,
Imhoff. Yes, okay. And he's of Jewish descent,
yes,
making him history in his own right.
yes.
And so, this is kind of, I mean, this is not a gender norm. This is not normally it's a first lady. Now it's a, first hubby or
This
whatever the
gentleman,
case may
right?
be. First
And
gentleman.
here,
So,
and here's the interesting part. He has two children from his first marriage,
right.
Cole and Ella, and they're named after jazz greats John
Yeah.
Coltrane and Ella Fitzgerald.
Yes.
The kids refer to Kamala as Mamala. Here's something that you may not know. His ex-wife and Kamala are good friends.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
very. I mean, when the
Well,
kids were growing up and they were doing, the school activities, both Kamala and his ex-wife Kirsten, I believe that's her name,
uh,
they they're good friends.
well, that's a
And that
California thing, and that's an influence thing. You know what I'm saying? I've heard of that
Mhm.
before. I've heard where the ex-wife and the new wife are best of buddies and friends. I know of a couple of situations like that now. We don't see it as often, and
Right.
I'm just joking about it being a California thing, but it is something that can happen, and I love when it happens.
I do too. I do too.
Yes.
So and the kids love her. She has a sister who has nieces. That was so nice to see. After President-elect Biden did his speech and all the family came up. Her nieces were there and their suffrage white attire. And it was just, it was so inspiring to see because I'm sure young little brown and black girls saying, I could do this. Seeing Kamala is like, this can be done because you hear it all the time. You could be anything you want to be, but if you don't actually see it, especially see a person that looks like you, sometimes it seems very hard to attain. But now Kamala has not only broken, she has shattered that glass ceiling, and so it's going to be just so. She's already history making, but it's just really it warms my heart. I did a surprise live the moment it was announced. I just said, as a black woman, it makes me proud. It really
Yes.
does.
All right. All right. Very good. Well, with that being said, congratulations to Madam VP elect, Miss Kamala Harris. Big old shout out when she entered on stage to Mary J.
Oh
Blige.
yeah.
Look, Mary J. Blige
And
is a major superstar now, baby, because you done brought on an elected official, the second highest
yeah,
position in the country. So, yeah, shout out to
yeah,
Mary J. Blige for that great song. Yes. All right. Well,
absolutely.
don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, November is National Gratitude Month. And throughout the entire month of January, November, we will be showing you nothing but gratitude on this show. Don't forget, the show will be going on hiatus after tonight. You'll be seeing a rerun every night. I'm going to post the best shows over the past couple of months. The show will be back live on Monday, November 23rd, so that we're able to help you guys get your Thanksgiving week off and running and everything up and great entertainment on the show and all that good stuff. So yes, tonight will be the last live show. That's why we have our guest who's joining us tonight, legendary actor Mr. Babatunde. He will be joining us in just a little bit. I went to school with some Babatundes.
Did you
So that's
really? Oh,
yep,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Sure did.
All
So
righty.
interesting. So we'll be back November 23rd with more great shows, and we'll have more stories of gratitude when we come
Oh
back
yes.
then. All right, Kay Renee is our guest co-host tonight. How you doing? You still hanging in there? You okay?
I'm good. Anytime I'm with you, Art, it's all good, babe. It is all
Very
good.
good. Very good. Well, you look great today. Despite
Thank
what you
you.
went through yesterday, and you look radiant today, I should say.
Oh, thank you. It was nice to get out. I had to get some errands done. I did a quick live to announce the show tonight. And it was just nice to get out in the streets for a minute, doing
Yeah,
some, getting some ingredients for my sweet potato pies that I'll be baking next week for my customers and getting some laundry done. I said, because you just never know what can happen. I said, let
that's
me get
true.
everything done now. So,
Right.
and just have the windows down, driving. I was in Orland Park getting some things. I said, "Oh, this is so cool." I said, "But I know come Wednesday gonna be a whole different ball game."
Yes, it is. This weather's going to change for real. Well, all right. Just remind
Mhm.
everyone, wear your mask, sanitize,
Wear your
social
mask.
distance, and do all the right things. Okay. That's how we
That's
do
right.
that. All right. So, Kay Renee, by any chance, did you get a chance to catch Saturday Night Live on Saturday? And
You know,
Saturday Night
saw
Live,
bits,
huh?
I saw bits and pieces. I saw Mr. Dave Chappelle at his best. I was like, they need to have him on every Saturday. I didn't see the whole episode, but I did see some parts, and I just was like, wow.
Well, there
You know,
are some people. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, sweetie. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I've lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
No, I was saying when there was a skit about you know who was about to get out of the White House. I just was on the floor. I was, I was on the floor.
I got to
I
give a
said,
shout out to Maya Rudolph for her impersonation of Aunt Jemima.
yes.
I couldn't. I just right. I was just like, oh my God. But she knocked it. Whoever in wardrobe did that, they knocked it clean out the ballpark.
They did. They did. And who'd have thought? Now, a lot of people may not know this. I hope most of you know. That is Minnie Riperton's daughter. Minnie
Yes, it
Riperton
is.
was a songbird from Chicago. One of my favorite singers. A lot of people like, that's her daughter. That's her daughter. And so I know Minnie is smiling somewhere in heaven saying, that's my baby. That's my
Yes.
baby. Yeah.
All right. Well, people are saying that maybe Dave Chappelle should win an Emmy for that monologue he did on Saturday. But then some people
Really?
are quite upset that he made the comment about Freddie Mercury and the AIDS epidemic, and that he would kind of make a dig like that. But I thought it was pretty good. The show ended up coming on so late Saturday night that a lot of people didn't get to see it firsthand. They ended up watching it later on, like I did.
Right.
But I thought the opening monologue was great. Just some people up in arms about him making a comment about the AIDS comment, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, so I don't know. But Dave Chappelle is Dave Chappelle, and I thought he did a great job for what it is that he was there to do. And it might add some help and flavor to Saturday Night Live to have somebody like him come back a little bit more often. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. I just think I had a chance to see him. And if you remember this movie, Undercover Brother, he was just, I saw that movie a few weeks ago, and just every time I think of him in that vein with him and Eddie Griffin, when their banter, I just crack up laughing. He is just a genius. He really is a genius.
He really is. Well, you know what he did during this pandemic? He lives in Ohio, and he lives in a rural part of Ohio. He actually built an outdoor performing center, kind of like a Ravinia on his land, and had everybody COVID test before they got off the plane. He even has a landing strip or airport or whatever the case may be. And yes, and so Chris Rock, all of these comedians would come to his place on the weekend, and it was kind of like a Coachella of comedians, and they would have an audience and everything, but everybody would have to get tested, have a wristband on saying that they are negative, and that's how they were able to do these performances over the COVID.
Sweet. So he's totally left Hollywood. He has his own Hollywood in Ohio. Check that out.
Well, I mean, as far as a place to perform and do what he needs to do, you know what I'm saying? Like his home away from home. Right. Me neither. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
Right. Do you have a news story you want to pop in here real quick?
I also wanted to give a shout out to Van Jones.
Yes.
He
Hello. Uh-oh. Did we lose her again? Hello. Ooh, boy. Hello. Are we there? Okay. Hey, no K Renee. All right. Well, let me continue on with the show. Oh, hello, K Renee. All right. She is not there. Let me move her and see if we can get her back live in a minute. All right. We're going to continue on with the news. Today, Dr. Ben Carson, who is the Housing and Urban Development Secretary, has tested positive for coronavirus. I see she there. You there? Hello? Hello? All right, so Ben Carson today tested positive for the coronavirus. This news came less than a week after it was revealed that White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows also tested positive for COVID-19. The White House hosted an in-person indoor party on election night. So I'm thinking that Ben Carson possibly would have gotten sick that night from that party or being around the wrong people. I just think it's so strange with Ben Carson being such a world-renowned surgeon and doctor that he wouldn't do the right things to protect himself from catching COVID-19. I just find it hard to believe that he's not doing what's necessary to do the right things. Don't forget, coming up in just a little bit, we have legendary actor OBBA Babatunde joining us this evening. I ain't been drinking, y'all. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. Trying to see what's going on with K. Renee. Give us just a second here. We apologize for all the difficulties right now. Thank you guys so much. Do me a favor, go over to the Real Chat Daddy page when you get a second and follow me there as well too. Hey, Better, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you.
Hey,
I can hear you.
Oh,
hey.
Good. Okay, thanks. I was just talking about Ben Carson being diagnosed with COVID-19. He now has it. A brain surgeon and a famous doctor. What do you think?
I'm not gonna say a word. You know, my mom always said, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. I'm not saying nothing. Not a word. I'm not anything about that. I pray that he gets gets the help that he needs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Isn't that something that, again, he's 69 years old. It has been reported that he is in good spirits and feels fortunate to have access to efficient therapeutics, which will aid and help with his speedy recovery. HUD Deputy Chief Staff Culture Baker said in a statement that he has, the best treatment that will help him to be better. Are you there?
I'm here and I'm listening.
Well, good. So he claimed he has what it takes to, become healthier and better. I mean, who knew? Ben Carson, I remember when Essence magazine, he was one of Essence magazine's honorees. I used to go to the Essence Awards every year in New York. And where I first learned about Ben Carson had to been in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe mid 90s, if it was that far. And just to now know that Ben Carson went from world-renowned surgeon to now being a laughingstock under the Trump administration is unfathomable. Like who would think that? You know what I'm saying? Can you hear me? K. Renee?
I can hear you. And I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Hear me? Yeah, I can. I was just waiting on your response. I can. We can hear you. Okay. I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. Who would have thought that? But again, he didn't practice social right. He's a neurosurgeon. I've really questioned his behavior for the last few years that he's been when he was appointed Secretary of HUD. So as I said, it's not ironic. I think it's karmic that he now has contracted. Now he won't be in that position long. So I want him to get all the rest that he needs and all the help that he needs.
Very good. Well, we're exactly 73 days away from the new administration being sworn in. And so today, President-elect Joe Biden actually announced that, he'll take off with developing a task group or task force to help with this COVID-19 pandemic, because this pandemic is the number one thing that I think everybody's worried about. Children are still not in school. Unemployment issues, the economy. If Illinois goes back down one phase, it's a wrap for a lot of places. What do you think is something else that our new president-elect should put on the docket to handle first?
Well, besides the pandemic, he has to be able to have a collaborative effort with all 50 governors to do a mask mandate. But also, people need money. They need help. And I know he's going to have to go across the aisle with Moscow Mitch and have a conversation with Nancy Pelosi. Said, look, there has to be a stimulus package that needs to happen soon before the end of the year. We're in the holiday season. It's, we're already, because the weather's changing, we've got to be sheltering in place. And if folks don't have at least decent fun to share in the holidays with their families, it's not going to be a good holiday and a good new year or end of the year for 2020 to start January 2021. So those two really, I think he started off the right foot by really being as transparent as he could, announcing this new task force. I do hope that he will enlist the help of Dr. Fauci and Deborah Birx, um, and really just kind of deal with how we're going to bend the curve in these cases. Because even Dr. Fauci said if we continue on this path, they're going to burn us before the end of the year. And that's the sad part. And even what's worse, Art, the outgoing president don't give a damn. All he's doing is playing golf. He upset that he lost. He feels that the election was rigged. Need to
Well,
get over that.
he's still not
And
conceded
he
yet.
won't.
He is not conceded yet.
No,
He has not said,
and
that
he won't.
oh well, any of
And
that.
he won't.
And I wonder why he won't. You know
He
what I'm
won't.
saying? Right.
Well, he's always been a narcissist, Art. That's one thing. Two, he feels the only way you can win is to cheat, do everything you can to win. Now he has lost. I don't care if all his lawyers going to fight. You can't fight for different states. It's not. It'd be different if Joe Biden his lead was maybe 1,000 votes. In the states that he won, like Pennsylvania, 30,000. Arizona, I don't think they've called it yet, but he's still in the lead. Georgia, he's still in the lead in the tens of thousands. Nevada, he's already won. So and they're still counting votes. So we won't know the total yet, probably until the magic date is December 14th, because that's when all the electorates meet and then they cast their ballot um, for the office. So
Mm-hmm.
he will not even concede. But see, one thing he's worried about, Art, after January 20th, he has no immunity. Those loans that he made before he became president and while he was in president, they're gonna come due in the tune of $400 million. He
Oh,
can't go to the
absolutely.
say, "Oh, I'm the president. I'm immune." Mm-mm. And let's not forget the $750 in taxes that he did. He may be the first president that has to go to jail due to tax evasion. And
Okay,
that's real.
but then let's look at the other hand of this. A couple of weeks ago here on the show, when we were talking about what are the benefits of becoming president, keep in mind that he gets what, a president's pension the rest of his life. Keep in mind that he will be getting Secret Service that is paid for us for the rest of his life. He'll get a state funeral. He'll still get great benefits. And here's the deal. He only served one term as president. I'm trying to figure out when was the last time we had just a one-term president.
Nixon.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something in all of those years?
And Nixon resigned.
See? We tried to impeach this man. It didn't happen. This man catches the coronavirus, makes an announcement at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning that he has COVID. Who does that? Half of the world is either asleep or not. The only people really up that time of night watching TV are insomniacs or people that just, but not. Who does that? I mean, what leader comes on at 2 a.m. to tell you that he has a tragic disease that has killed so many people and so many people are being diagnosed with it, but yet in 72 hours, I'm healed, I'm cured. That right there was just a total mockery.
Exactly. My thoughts, I've said this. I believe he's always had COVID early on. I believe he had something else that caused him to go to Walter Reed, because in the White House they have a hospital, or at least a hospital like area where they could have really treated him if he needed that treatment.
Right.
I believe he was sick. I just don't
Yes.
believe he's had COVID like, symptoms. I believe he's
Right.
always had it. That's just my opinion.
Okay,
But
Renee, we need to add in there also H.W. Bush. Wasn't he a one-term president as well, too?
which one? The father or the son?
H.W., the father. No, because the son, huh?
No, it was the son. Because the father had 2 terms. Because the
That's right. That's right. That's right. Right.
father had 2
Yes.
terms. Because with Reagan and Bush had 2 terms. His son only had. It was HW. Okay, it
Right.
was the
H.W.
father.
That's what I thought.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. But
All right.
Nixon,
Thank you,
the
Miss Kim.
father, and also now Trump. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, with that being said, we want to thank everybody who did vote and you got your votes
Yes.
out. We appreciate everybody. That's what it's all about. If you want to make a change and do things different in this world, you've got to let your voice be heard. And that's what
That's
we're all
right.
about, making sure that people's voices are heard. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy, and we are here Monday through Thursday night from 7 until we just about get tired. Each and every night, we are an entertainment, reality, news, variety show. And we try to bring you some of the best guests ever. Well,
Yes.
November is National Gratitude Month. And we say here on this show, gratitude goes a long way. Gratitude is something just as simple as stopping to take time out of your day to talk to people and to relate to people. And we're hoping that our new president-elect and new vice president-elect are those type of people. Well,
Yeah.
our guest who is joining us in just a few moments is that type of person. He really is. We are honored to welcome him to the show tonight. This man has had such an illustrious career.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should read all of this. I think we should just talk to him about all of this. You know
Yeah,
what I
let's
mean?
do that. Let's do that.
He is just such the person, because I didn't even know he was fluent in sign language. And I started taking sign
I
language
know.
this
I didn't know
year.
that either.
I did not
Okay.
know. He's just such a talented and gifted man. I don't even know where to start. Do you want to introduce him or shall I introduce him? He's waiting for us.
You go introduce him.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, in honor of November being National Gratitude Month, please welcome to the show legendary Emmy Award-winning actor, Mr. OBBA BABATUNDÉ. Yay! How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you both?
We are
We're
wonderful.
good. It's so good to meet you.
It's a joy to meet you as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And thank you so much for both of you for your kindness, for the generosity that you give, for the service that you provide, and for allowing me to be a part of your wonderful world tonight.
Are you kidding me? This is like my birthday, Christmas, and a
Exactly.
really good New Year's Eve night all rolled
Absolutely.
into one, just having you here with us this evening.
You're very
Absolutely.
kind. Thank you so
I've been a good girl. So this is my Christmas gift. So much.
So first off, I want to start off with, what is your regiment? You look absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
To read your profile, you had to have started your career in kindergarten or preschool.
Absolutely.
That's very kind of you. My friends were all mad at me. They say, "Oba, we know that you got a picture somewhere that shows what you actually look like." Well, but this is exactly what I look like. My mother always told me, she said, "You take care of yourself when you're young, yourself will take care of you when you get old." And health is so much more than just one's outside. I think that one's outward manifestation is a result of their interior reality. And so I wake up every day with a desire to help and to serve. And I've done that with my life, and I've always, in terms of my career, my intention has always been to represent nice people like yourself well, because think about it from the standpoint that the images that I present and others that do the work that I do on the small screen, the stage, and the large screen, they go out around the world and they give the opportunity for someone who may never have met you personally, should they meet you, to have an idea of who you might be. So why would I misrepresent you? So I want to represent you in the best light so that someone having the opportunity to meet you already has a viewpoint and an idea of who you might be. And that's what I've tried to do throughout my career. From the, I always laugh and I say, I don't know whether it was arrogance or confidence, but when I started out, the images weren't always the most positive.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I was going to be the alternative Black man on the screen, and that I was going to give it my best. And so that's what I've hoped that I've been able to do, because, I have a saying that says your do is not necessarily your who. Your do is what affects change in your life, but your who is how you affect change in someone else's life.
Yes, sir.
And so that's what I have tried to do, is to try to affect a positive change in someone's life. And you know what? We all have the ability to do that, to be able to say something to someone in a way that makes them feel good about themselves, to encourage them in a way, be honest, and also study and do your research about life. We so often don't. I mean, I'm going on too long, but
no, that's what we do. We family. We love you. Keep talking.
That's right.
Is that very often, I always say to people, you don't see things accurately unless you see them in reference to the historical context. When you see them in reference to the historical context, you have the ability to understand what was before you. Very often, everybody thinks it's just about right now, but nothing is just about right now. And what I have found, I have been in the industry of entertainment now professionally. That's not including the no paying, low paying, 49 years. And I did not start. I did not start as a child. My birthday is coming up, and if God spares me life, I will be 70 on the calendar this time. Okay.
When is your birthday?
December the 4th.
All right, we're gonna make that a national holiday. We're gonna make it a national.
That's right. National holiday.
So, people always say, well, Black don't crack. I said, not unless you own it.
Right. Right. Hello. Yeah.
But I enough about me. I'm here to talk to you guys about the questions that you have, and of course to talk about the great work that I've been having the opportunity to do. And this SWAT is coming up. Season 4 premiere is coming up, and I'm telling you, we are on fire.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah. I got a chance to watch the clip, and it is just amazing. First of all, you play Shamar Moore's dad, and he's a fan favorite just like yourself. And just to see the grit and the passion in that clip, and it relates to everything that we're going through right now in our country. And what you said, even I won't give your line away, but you're right. You reflected back many years of what was going on and how it's still true today.
Yes, absolutely. And it speaks to exactly what I was talking about before, that if you don't know your history, if you really have not taken the time to identify your history, then you don't have a retrospect by which you can understand. Time is I say to people, time is an illusion. Now, let me share with you what I mean by that. We have divided time into past, present, and future. Now, I'm going to show you just how closely they're associated. What I am about to say to you is in the future. While I'm saying it, it's in the present. And once I have said it, it's in the past. So relatively to how fast I say it, look how closely those segments of time are associated. So we have to be mindful of that. Time is developed through the accumulation of micromilliseconds. Okay, it is the accumulation of a micromillisecond that makes a second. Accumulation of seconds that make minutes. Accumulation of minutes that make hours. Accumulation of hours that make days. Accumulation of days that make weeks. Accumulation of weeks that make months, and the accumulation of months that make years. But it all begins and ends simply with the micromillisecond. Life begins with an inhale and ends with an exhale. So if somebody said to you, listen, you only have but this much time to live, a whole lot of things would fall away. You would identify what's important and what's not as important. And so what I say is that because none of us know that specifically, if you did know it, I say, what are you waiting for? You know, if you go to the supermarket on a Friday, someone will always say to me, "Oba, any plans for the weekend?" If I go on a Monday, they say, "So how was the weekend?" And I say, "I live every single day like the weekend." And they said, "Oh, that's cool. That's really cool." I said, "No, no, no. It's basic math. If there's only 7 days in a week and I'm only taking 2 for me, look at how much of my life I've given up at the end of it.
Wow.
So if I'm going to take anything, I'm going to take the 5. And since it's all put together in accumulation of seconds, I'm living every single moment to the best of my ability." And that's what some of the stuff that we've identified with SWAT, because I'll give you a little inside baseball secret. Some of the stuff that my character talks about is actually born from my own personal experience as a young man growing up in America.
Oh, I believe it.
And so I get an opportunity that day that you see that clip. It was an emotional day for me because I was reliving what happened to me as a young Black man walking home and what happened. We won't give too much because I want everybody to tune in. But I'm telling you, and to Shamar Moore's credit, and to the writers and the creator of the show, Shamar said, listen, he said to Sean Ryan, the creator of the show, he said, listen, I can't put on that uniform and go on and do this show unless I deal with what's going on in the times in which we're living right now. And so Sean Ryan, Aaron Thomas, these guys got together and they said, listen, we want to make sure that we bring to fore what it is that is going on. And it's not just going to be one episode. So stay tuned for the entire season 4. We're going to be dealing with it all the way through. But it's powerful. It's really, really something. And I'm honored that they've included me in the cast.
Are you kidding me? Who better than you? When I was looking at the clip, I felt the emotion. I felt the energy. And then to now talk to you, I don't think there's a big difference between you and any of your characters that you play. You get what I'm saying? And especially with you saying live in the second, live for the now. I believe you show up and they just kind of say, you make this script happen. Because really, the same person you are Wednesday night in this season premiere is the same person we're talking to right now about just hope and positivity. Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Well, you know, I mean, I only portray fully realized human beings. You see, because that's what we are. It's not somebody's idea of who we are, but it's who we are. And we have the spectrum of all of the different individual characters that we are in our life, and who we have, again, going back to our past, who we've been, is very important so that we are identified and viewed as fully realized human beings. I'm gonna give you a little backstory. You know, a lot of people will recognize me from the soap opera Bold and the Beautiful.
Yes.
Right? Okay, Papa Avon. Now, when they asked me to do the show, I said, well, then they had the script laid out, and I said, well, listen, I want to thank you so very much, but I don't necessarily do this kind of work. And they said, well, what do you mean, Oba? I said, well, I only play fully realized human beings. And my character, as you will remember, was the father of a transgender child. And on soaps, they tend to make it that the father is a jerk, don't know nothing, don't get it. And the mother is always perfect and understands everything. And I said, that's not always the case. And they said, well, Oba, please share with us, because we want you on the show. Anna Maria Horsford and I came on to do 15-episode arc and ended up being there. And the character still lives there. So it's been a lot longer than that. But so I said, well, let me tell you, as I see it, who my character's father was, which will give you some insight into who my character is and why he feels the way he feels about the things he feels the way he feels about. And so they were kind enough to allow me to bring that character to fore. And I must tell you, one of the things that was a great pleasure, I met an individual who happened to be transgender. And they said to me, Oba, I want to thank you, sir, because the way you portrayed that character, it afforded me to be able to see my father, who I had not understood his point of view of what my choice was. And so now, through that character, I've been able to go back and rekindle the relationship with my dad. And we have a great relationship now. So again, here we have the opportunity through the arts to be able to bring us together as a family. You said something earlier. You said we're a family here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to say something to you, and I tell this to people. Family and relative are two different things.
Yes.
Got that right.
Huh?
Got that
Because
right.
you can't choose who your relative is.
That's
But
right.
you can choose. Family is how one is treated. Would you not agree?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Family is how one is treated. That's how we can be family. It's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily predicated on the bloodline. Because I had somebody that said to me, "Man, my brother make me sick." And I said, "Well, if he wasn't your brother, would you deal with him?" He said, "No." I said, "Then why you deal with him? You had no choice into whether or
That's
not
right.
he was born. You were born into that lineage."
Right.
But family is how we treat one another.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
Yep.
without doubt. Without a doubt. I want to ask you,
Go right ahead.
this month, as Art said, this is National Gratitude Month. What are you grateful for?
Thank you. It's a great question and deserves a great answer. I wake up every day with a sense of gratitude because the alarm clock didn't wake me up this morning. A lot of people went to sleep last night with the intention of waking up today, and they did not wake up.
Yes.
So that's how I know that there's a God. And so if he woke me up, I have to be first grateful for the fact that he woke me up and then say, what did you wake me up to do? I got to go out and do something. And the one thing that I can always do is give kindness to someone who I meet. You know, I meet a lot of celebrities and people have said to me, they said, "Man, for all the work that you've done, you're so down to earth. You're so giving." I said, "Well, wait a minute. What's the difference? We all do something." Can I tell you all a little story about somebody?
Yes,
Please.
sir. We right in front of you, please. Look, the audience loving this. Yes, sir.
Listen, there's a woman. Her name is Alma Smith. And I always reference Miss Smith because she was the mother of my best friend growing up. She may not be known to anybody but me and her family. But let me tell you who Mrs. Smith. I sit here before you today as a repository of something that Mrs. Smith did to me when I was a young man. I had gone to school and I had, I guess, maybe a difficult day. And my head was hanging down. And Mrs. Smith took my chin in her hand, lifted it up, looked into my eyes and said, "It's going to be okay because you're special." And for whatever reason, I heard her and I believed her. And I sit here today with you guys as a repository of that defining moment in my life. And you know what's the beautiful thing about that is that every one of us has the ability to be an Alma Smith in someone else's life. You can look at someone and say to them, whatever you're going through, it's going to be okay because you're special, rather than the alternative. What's wrong with you? Oh, you just stupid. Or you that. And we have taken terminology that the terms are negative, and we have turned them into saying, "Well, they know what I mean." Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they might believe that terminology is actually how they are. So, in terms of gratitude, I'm grateful that I get an opportunity through my art and my craft and my daily living to be able to interact with individuals who I get a chance to hopefully bring hope into their life, inspire them. You know, Malcolm said, "What you know, you teach, and what you don't know, you learn."
Yes.
Each one, teach one.
Teach one.
So share what you know, and what you don't know, be willing to learn. Because then it's not important to, in my estimation, to always be right. It's always important to do what is called the process. I learned this by dealing with business overseas. In Japan, they practice the process. And what the process is that it is not always the best idea in the room, it wins. Not always the person with the best idea in the room. See, that opens us up to being able to communicate with each other, no matter who it is, to be able to listen, uninterrupted, not listening, only waiting to get your point or make your point. But if you're talking to me, I want to listen to you so that I can say, okay, I'm taking in what you say. And then I want to be able to have the freedom to be able to, even if it's a juxtaposed opinion, share that with you and have you listen uninterrupted so that we can then hear uninterrupted what we both feel. And maybe from that, grow and learn from one another. So that's how I live my life. And that's what I'm grateful for.
Thank you.
God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. So I want to talk a little bit more about your career, not only the season premiere of SWAT, but you have really a dossier right now of just other incredible shows. Look, again, the hardest working Black man in Hollywood. Let's talk about a few of your other projects.
Yes. Well, I'm on Dear White People, which is this is our season finale of season 4 of Dear White People, and we got something really special for our viewing audience. It's a powerful show, and we take and we uncover, we peel back the layers of the different aspects of what this college life is. I play the dean. For those who may not have had an opportunity to tune it in yet, it's a Netflix show, and I play the dean, and my son. And I'm the first Black dean of this Ivy League college. And it was also a school that I went to. And when I went to it, there was maybe 3 Black people that attended. So to come back as the dean of that school is a very, very, very powerful thing. And I have a son in the show who was the first Black student president. So we're talking about how we passing on lineages here, So we deal with a lot of things on the show. And this season, the way we're dealing with the things is very, very unique. Very, very unique. And I'll just say this, I'm getting to use some of my talents that I've used in other aspects of my career. So we talked about Dream Girls, and we won't go into it, but I'll just say
we love Dream
of my
Girls.
career.
Okay. Dream Girls.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
That's why I got a chance to see you in New York.
Yes.
With Dream Girls, with you, Cheryl Lee, Loretta, and of course, Miss Jennifer Holiday. My goodness.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm so proud of that property because we worked very hard. Each of us, you named Cheryl Lee Ralph and Loretta Devine and Clevant Derricks and Ben Harney, Jennifer Holiday, and myself were at the onset of this. It was really the basis of the nucleus of what it came from, because it started out as a project called Tom Irons Project Number 9. And then it morphed into Dream Girls. Wow. So, and we had, it was really a powerful, powerful piece. And, I will tell you this is my opinion. Dream Girls, the musical, and I say that because it's a differentiation, because the musical, as what I was a part of, I wasn't a part of the film, but Dream Girls, the musical, is really, in my opinion, an indictment against the racist practices of America against Blacks in the music industry in that time, told in the most entertaining and fabulous way that it was ever done. You see? And I want to tell you this, Miss Jennifer Holiday, we salute her to this day, because that young lady, when she came into that show, she was 19 years old. And that song that she did, among all of the other work, she sang that song every single night that way. She never quit. And when you're doing a show 8 times a week, there's no cut and retake. And she never, ever, ever let anybody down. But look at the career of a Cheryl Lee Ralph. Look at the advanced career of Loretta Devine and Clevant Derricks, Ben Harney. They're still going. We're all still viable, And so I'm honored and thrilled. Thank you so much for coming and seeing us do that. And it revolutionized the American theater. It really did. Whether they'll ever credit it for that or not, but it revolutionized the American theater. because it was the first time that the technology that's used in all the shows now had ever been done on a stage.
Right.
It's an operetta, you know, it's an operetta. So it's not just a play with music.
Right.
It's not just a musical, it's an operetta. And to be able
it was
to
the Hamilton of its day. It was the Hamilton of its day.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I mean, there were so many great people involved with that property. But I've been blessed, you know, I mean, I've got to do that. We talk about, I'm presently on Goliath, which is also a wonderful show that is going to be doing something again where I get a chance to use some of my talents outside of that which I've done in dramatic theater, you know.
Wow.
So, you know, if look at what I did, you know, I had the great pleasure of doing Miss Evers Boys, my first Emmy Primetime Emmy nomination, where I got a chance to tell that story, brought to resurrect the lives of those men and women. Because if people don't realize, when I talked about history, that experiment, and we have to be very careful and pay attention to this, that experiment started in 1932 and went on until 1972. Untreated syphilis in the African-American male when they already had a cure. We have to pay attention to that. But here it was. That story had gone dormant until the great Ossie Davis, Joe Morton, Alfre Woodard, Lawrence Fishburne. We put together an amazing cast of people to tell the story of those men and women's lives. So I've had the Philadelphia. You talk about the first time where you got an opportunity with the great Denzel Washington to be able to see that AIDS, those stricken with AIDS, were not identified by their illness, but that they were human beings.
Exactly.
You see what I mean? So look at the power of the arts when used in its proper way. You can reflect on the present, you can reflect on the past, and you can even project the future. Because today, I'll give you this. Yesterday is but one of two things, a pleasant or an unpleasant memory, but it's a memory. Tomorrow has yet not happened. So it's pristine, it's perfect. Why would you take the problems of yesterday and throw them and have them waiting for you tomorrow? Didn't make good sense to me. And we prepare for tomorrow by how we live today. So be mindful of that. Know that you're powerful. Know that you matter. Know that you care. And know that you can and will make a difference one way or another. See, I've learned that there are only two definitives in life. Yes and or no. And either one of those definitives that you choose move your life forward. You say, I'm not going to do that. It moves your life forward. You say, I'm going to do that. It moves your life forward. It's that time in between, which we identify as purgatory, where you're making a decision between one or the other. If you stay there too long, you're paralyzed. You do nothing. You're on pause. Come up off a pause. Make a decision. Make a choice. And guess what else? If you make a choice and you identify that the choice that you made wasn't the best choice, don't continue with that choice. Make a different choice and move forward.
Well, that sure enough was food for thought. I don't know if that was soul food or was that a garden salad with everything. Look,
well, it was organic, baby. It was organic.
Right. All I know, it was healthy, it was organic, and it was powerful. And that's what everybody needs to hear right now, because we've been at each other's throats. This election season has just been great. You know, we didn't even get a chance to even talk to you about this whole election, but you've laid it all out. The new day is here for us.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I want to congratulate you both. And I want to say, you know, Chat Daddy, keep doing what you're doing, baby. Please keep chatting. Okay? Because you know what? I respectfully suggest continue to open up to varied and different thoughts and opinions, because we have to be mindful that, you know, if you don't hear an opposing viewpoint, you then become just a drone in your own head. Listen to an opposing viewpoint from the standpoint of, well, let me hear it from the facts. Now, okay, you have an opposing viewpoint. What are you basing that on? Get out of basing it on your emotions and start basing it on facts. And if you don't have the facts, go and research. Go and research the facts. Because, you know, I said I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, let me ask you a question. If there was somebody that you had held in high esteem, and you were able to find out maybe something about that individual that you did not know, would you be willing to reassess your viewpoint about that person? And they said, they thought for a moment, and they said, yes. And then I asked them a couple of questions. And as we went along, they kept going off of the individual that we were talking about and bringing it back to themselves. And I said, excuse me, I'm not talking about you now. We're not discussing you. You have empirical knowledge of your life. We're talking about maybe somebody else that you may not have empirical knowledge of their life and choices and decisions. And I asked you the question initially, would you be willing, should you find out something that you did not know about that individual that you held in high esteem, would you be willing to perhaps think differently about that? And see, that's what we must do, in my humble opinion. We've got to not just go with the flow of the thing. My youngest son showed me an interesting cartoon the other day, and it was a picture of a cow, and the cow was looking at which to go. Do I go up this hill or go up that hill? So does it go up left or go up right? And as it moved further, as the road moved further up, both began to bend. They begin to bend, and as it got further and further away from the purview of that cow, it couldn't see it anymore. And both of those paths merged, and they both led to the slaughter. So you have to be mindful. It's easy to sit back, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're in politics discussions, or whether you're whatever it is, and take a viewpoint that's popular. But my respectful suggestion, with being the amount of time that I've been on the planet, I always say it's not how long you've been living, but how long you've been paying attention. And that's why we got some potentially young, brilliant people and some old fools. Okay. Amen. So open yourself. My mother told me this, and then I'm going to get out you guys here because I know you got so much to do.
No, we loving all of this. We loving it all. Look at everybody's comments. Oh my God.
When she was on the planet, she said, son, there is two things you cannot do with a closed hand. You cannot give, nor can you receive. Yeah. So open your hand, open your heart, open your mind, and watch what happens. Now I'm gonna give you this tip to those that are in the entertainment industry, because I teach a master class from time to time. So, and I travel all around. So if you ever hear me being in your town, come and check me out. I got some information.
Absolutely.
People say, oh, but you work all the time, man. And I say, well, I can help you increase your booking rate. Oh, wow, I'm excited about that. Tell me how to do that. And I said, well, first of all, I want you to take this word out of your vocabulary. I want you to remove the word audition and replace it with the word opportunity. And watch how you feel. Well, I got an audition tomorrow. I got an opportunity tomorrow. Oh, now you feel a certain way. And the next time you go to that opportunity, don't go to get anything. Go to give something and watch what happens. And that's how I go to your point, my sister, about gratitude. I go to give. Because when I leave a situation and circumstance, I leave with at least what I came with. They cannot take from you what they did not give to you. Your gifts, your talents, your abilities, God gave those to you. To the degree that you develop them is the degree that you develop them. Someone can give you an opportunity to express them, be it oratory, be it in song, be it in dance, be it in news media, whatever it is. But they cannot take from you what they did not give to you. I love y'all to life. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much.
And I hope you'll invite me back. And I didn't take up.
Absolutely. And if you're ever in Chicago, now this is what I'm doing for art. I bake the best sweet potato pies in the Midwest.
Well, listen, I love sweet potato pie. So, and you know, I tell you something. I love Chicago because Chicago, Chicago is a city. I told somebody this the other day. They said, I'm from Chicago. I said, man, it was a sister. I said, I love Chicago. Chicago is easy to fall in love in Chicago. So I love Chicago. I'm going to come there. I'm going to ring you up and say, it's OBBA. I'm here for my sweet potato pie.
I got you.
Look, you got an open invitation anytime. You have been amazing. The audience is loving you. I'm looking on other pages. People are just impressed with just the beautiful knowledge you dropped on us this evening.
Oh my goodness,
and see, we never know, how these interviews will ever come out, but you are really a spiritual person. I was going to even talk about the fact that you're a horse whisperer. You a people whisperer. Man, you a people whisperer. The horses, man, look, you mean to tell me you've been sharing all this with them horses and not us?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you this. You see, I learned a very valuable lesson from horses. Because horses, because they're prey animals, they don't deal with love or hate. They deal with trust or mistrust, distrust. So watch this. Watch this, y'all. There's only one way that you can earn a horse's trust. And there's only one way that I found, through investment of time and consistency of behavior. And that's a lesson that we could learn. That helps remove the ego, doesn't the false ego, right? Because someone says to you, oh man, you the bomb, and you walk away and they say, oh, I can't stand that dude, man. See, but through investment of time and consistency of behavior, you learn who someone is. The who, not necessarily the do. Your do is what affects change in your life. But your who is how you affect change in someone else's life.
A masterclass right here tonight. Really, we are so. Look, people follow him on social media. I know he's on Instagram. Where do you have other ways for people to follow you too?
Yeah, Twitter. I'm on most of the social media, and I do respond. So, but Twitter and Instagram are the two that I check the most frequent. As you talked about, I'm pretty busy. I'm working on 4 shows right now, but when I get to it, I will respond to them because it's important for me to be able to continue to stay in touch with those. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank the audience that's watching for all of the years that you guys have supported me in my career, because I am a repository of what it is that you give. I try to represent you, as I said earlier in the program, to the best of my ability. And I will give you that commitment that I will never, ever stop doing that. I have turned down more work than I've done, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. I believe
because of that reason. Because of that reason. Because of that reason. You hear me? Y'all understand what I'm saying, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I get it. As I said early on in this interview, when you're a part of it, we know your character and your role is going to speak for you. And now that we've met you, I know for sure. I knew that to begin with. I knew that, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you again.
Yeah, and to tell you how old school, your mother told you to always look well. My grandmother always told me to take care of your hands and your feet. She said, because they'll take you a long way. So I know you were raised right.
Absolutely. And watch this also. Your hands and the bottom of your feet, they are receptors. So what goes on your hands and goes up through your feet goes inside your body. Be mindful what you're putting on your hands, ladies and gentlemen, without me going into specifics. Be careful. Read what it is you're pumping and putting on your hands. Because if it's something that kills 98% of all bacteria, remember, we need both good and bad bacteria in order to bring our bodies to balance.
Oh, okay. All right. The master class is over. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for our amazing, just absolutely phenomenal guest.
This is the way we applaud in sign language.
Yes,
so I'm doing this
look,
all my time.
Yes, we
all of those who sign know that I love you, and keep the power going.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible, legendary actor, Mr. OBBA BABATUNDÉ, our spiritual father on this show now. We just love him. Oh, you give so many applause. Wait, let me put these up before you go. Everybody is just saying, oh, they love you so much. Everybody is just saying how great this was tonight. This really was. Anytime you want to come back, we're here for you. And come hang out. We love you. God bless you and continued success to you and good health. Happy birthday. We're going to make it a national celebration of you.
Thank you. Much
All
love.
right. God bless. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Oh my God. That was so amazing. That was beautiful. What a beautiful spirit. Just great energy. Just and that's what we need to be to each other. Beautiful spirits. You know what I'm saying? That was so really, I moved to tears behind that whole thing. I again was not expecting a master class tonight on this show. And people, I keep saying, watch the Real Chat Daddy show.
That's right. You never know.
Might have technical difficulties, boo, but we have a great show when we do.
Yes, we do.
We have real celebrities. Yeah, we do. Yes. Everybody's saying amazing. It was really a master class. That was really great. Oh, girl, I'm tired. I need a drink. I need a drink. Yep. My grandmother used to say, boy, take care of your hands and your feet.
Yeah.
She said, because they'll take you a long way. And that's why I've always taken care of my hands, and I have baby soft feet. A lady I know, God bless her soul, she used to grab my hands and she said, boy, your hands soft as cotton. You don't do nothing, do you? I said, yes, ma'am, I do. She said, boy, you can't. These hands soft as cotton. But I do. I scrub, wash dishes, everything. But my grandmother always told me, take care of your hands and your feet. Yep, and I do take care of both of those. He was so incredible. Oh my God. Yeah, he really was. Well, Kay Renee, anything else we need to talk about, baby? Look, we both did that. Right.
I'm spent. I'm just talk about gratitude. All right, let me just say this, how grateful I am of you. You have allowed me to be, and you've stated this in previous shows, I am your longest guest co-host. I don't take that for granted. I am just so grateful to you for allowing me to be a voice with your show. And, you know, as November is Gratitude Month and Thanksgiving is about to approach. Thank you, Miss Watika.
Yeah, she said technical difficulties ain't nothing but the haters trying to stop a good thing. Thank you, Watika.
That's all right.
Yes.
You can't stop goodness and progress, but I just really just want to say thank you, Art, so much for allowing me to be your sidekick, and I've just enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to many more. I really am.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you so much. I mean, who knew this would even, blossom into what it has blossomed into. Thank you to all of the PR people who afford me the opportunity to talk to these wonderful people. You do not have to do it, but you do. And I am just so honored. And I thank you guys so very much that you understand that we are now in a world that has changed. People are now on different and new platforms to get the message out. It may not be 1 million followers, but he really did impact the people that he talked to tonight. And this will always go down on YouTube, Facebook. You can always watch the encore presentations of any of the shows via YouTube or Facebook, The Real Chat Daddy Show. Tonight is it until November 23rd. November 23rd, I'll be back with some fresh new material for you. November is National Gratitude Month. And so we want to remind you guys to be as grateful as you can about everything that you have. If you have a roof over your head, thank you, Lord. If you have food on your table, thank you, Lord. If you have decent health, I ain't talking about the best of health, because we all got something that's going on. But if you have decent health and you're able to move, what did he say? When you get up in the morning, thank God for that, because many people did not wake up today. Read on my timeline on Facebook where 3 people lost family members today. And so, you know, it is just what it is. Things are meant to be what they're meant to be. But thank you so much to OBBA BABATUNDÉ for just being our masterclass tonight. It was just incredible. It really was. All right, K. Renee, anything else you need to say before we get on up out of here?
Oh my goodness. I'm still spent. I am still spent about the masterclass that Mr. OBBA, I call him, he's our Yoda. You know,
he's our Baba, OBBA BABATUNDÉ.
Yeah.
He is. Yes, he is. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, boo. I was expecting, I'm on the show. I wasn't expecting so much love, peace, and harmony. But I gotta give the person who booked him credit. She knows her people. Yes, it was really great. It really was great. Absolutely. It really, really was. So listen, you guys, for my birthday this year on November 16th, I'm going to make a special announcement. Instead of being good to me, we're going to be good to other people. So on Monday, November 16th, you guys will find out what I most want you to help me do for my birthday in this holiday season. Okay. I'll be on briefly on Monday, November 16th to kind of tell you guys what I want to happen as a commemorance of my birthday. All right.
All righty.
All right, K. Renee, darling, I love you so very much. You did an outstanding job, my dear.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. My heart is full. It's rare that I'm speechless. So I'm speechless right now. So
I told you, look, once we take this hiatus and I re-trick the studio out and we improve some things, we are a force to be reckoned with on this show. Oh, love it, like it, hate it, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. I need you guys to start hitting that share button, though. Please hit the share button, start a watch party, subscribe, do all of that. I'm still begging y'all, please, for Christmas, please. All you have to do is hit that share button.
That's his birthday. Subscribe, share. That'll be his birthday gift, ladies and gents.
Yes.
He brings quality people. I mean, I'm in awe. I am totally that man looks good.
Fabulous.
70.
But what does mama tell him? Same thing my grandmama told me. Mama said take care of it, and he did take care of it. He looks great. Yes, he does. He looks wonderful.
So I want you to enjoy. Yes, people whisper. That's
he
what
the people whisperer. That's what the hell with them. Look, the hell with them horses. He a people whisperer. Yeah, he a people whisperer.
That's right.
Yes,
that is
hell
right.
With them horses. Yes.
But I want you to have fun and enjoy your national holiday. You'll hear from me, as you know, on the 16th. But I'm just so proud of you. I really am. I'll be baking my pies. You know, when you get back, you got your pie waiting for you.
Thank you, baby. I love you so much. I will. Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I love you guys so very much. Be safe, be well. You'll be seeing reruns of the show until the 23rd. Stay wonderful, stay well. You say what? Oh, yes, honey. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it till we're satisfied. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Sanitize. Wash your hands. Soap and water is really important. Now, what did he say? He said, now watch what you're putting in your hands, because if it kills 99, right. We just trying to kill the corona. I ain't trying to kill. I told y'all it was messing up my cuticles anyway. Trying to kill the Ronas, baby. Trying to kill the Ronas. Blow your hands out. Okay. Also, social distance. Don't stand on each other. Get away from each other. Stand back. Give me some room. All of that kind of stuff. And most importantly, if you're not feeling well, keep your ass at home. Keep your ass in the house. It's so easy. It's so simple. I've become an ass houser. Right. A house asser. Yeah, which however you want to say it. Yes, I'm all of that. A house asser, ass houser, whatever. I'm here. I'm stuck in the house, all day. Right. But it works. It does. It does. All right. Well, on behalf of my beautiful co-host, Miss K. Renee, Karen's Nuggets, everyday social media. Tell them again where they can find those nuggets.
You can find me on Karen's_Nuggets on Instagram, Facebook, Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge, or my personal Facebook at K. Renee Mason. And I want to give out the special nugget. People, places, or things can give you inspiration or desperation. And that was by my beautiful, beloved father, Mr. James Mason Jr.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, you guys have a beautiful and wonderful night. Stay safe, stay well. Yeah. Don't forget our COVID numbers are rising, you guys. They are rising. So do what you need to do and be careful. Go to therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. Also YouTube. Please subscribe to The Real Chat Daddy Show on Facebook, The Real Chat Daddy Show. All right. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you later. And one, or as we do in sign language. Bye.